Hi, everybody. It's Peg, and I am recording live today. I didn't want to take the time to do a video and upload and all of that. So, this is what we're doing today is just playing.
What are you doing? I'm running for student body president. I'm going to put pizza in the dining hall. Finally.
Okay, got it.
This is what we're
Mute my phone because I'm trying to watch the chat in case anybody comes in here. Got some dirty water on my brush, so I'm coating this piece with some matte medium just to make sure it stays down because this fabric that I'm using is very porous. And I just want to make sure that this stays put. And I might actually put some spray on top of that just because I don't like what's going on. Let's see. Why am I getting that going on with my camera? Hi, Bea. How are you? Gotta check my camera here. Just a second. I'm getting some fluctuation and I don't like that. So let's change this up a bit. I am working on, this is a needle case. The My Creative Year group, which is a Facebook group, is all about stitching and fabric and all of that kind of stuff. This week it's about clothing, and so I decided I was going to use some old clothing and create something. Just chilling. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm not really let's see, where's my options? I want autofocus off. Thank you. Sometimes I just wonder about this. Okay. Hopefully that will fix the problem and we won't get that fluctuation anymore. Okay. So, yeah, I should have done that before I started, but you know how it goes. So anyway, this is just some old fabric. I've got some jean material out here. So I want to use some of that. And I was just coating this piece. Hi, Joey DeFay. Hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm just coating this piece with some matte medium because I've cut it out, and I'll show you what I'm using. This is a dye from Sizzix that comes from Eileen Hull. And what I did was I took a piece of chipboard and I coated both sides of the chipboard and am creating this little needle case, but I'm going to set that one aside and we'll start fresh with something new. Hi, Cindy. So, if you guys haven't seen this before, this is a Sizzix die, and it's a scoreboard die, so it's a thick one. Let me get my camera back here. Good grief. Too many screens to look at once. All right. So here we go. Now you guys can get it in focus. This is a scoreboard die. It's from Eileen Hull. The number is 660767. And what it does is it cuts this little needle case. So that's what I'm doing is I'm creating some of these little needle cases. And what I do when I get these, because all they do is label it on the end here, I just take the packaging and adhere it to the front so I can see what this die is supposed to do. But I have some jean material. This is just trimming off the bottom when I shortened some pants for my husband. And I've got a bunch of other fabric over here. And what I want to do is take some of this fabric and some of this Elizabeth Craft. I don't think I want to put a chipboard between. I'm not sure if I do or not. I could just use a thinner card. Yeah, thinner card would work too, right? Because I think that'll fit. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, good enough. I didn't think I wanted it quite that thick because it's just such a little bitty book. So I've got this Elizabeth Craft. Is that long enough? Yeah. Elizabeth Craft double stick. And I'm just going to cut a piece to put on the front and on the back of this because I want adhesive everywhere. Whoops. Helps if you get it going straight. Do as I say, not as I do, right? All right, so get that down. I'll cut that piece off. Yeah, sure. Copying's good. That's what we're all here for, is to help one another, right? Okay, so now I've got my double stick on here. And I'm just going to peel one side of the double stick. Actually, I can peel both sides because I'm going to put it down. I'm going to peel this other side too. And I'm going to stick that to my denim. And then I want something for the inside of my book. So let me grab, what am I going to use this time? Let me grab some text paper or something. Okay, so here's a piece of text paper. And I'll put that on there. So now I've got a sandwich. And I'm going to just put that on my die like so. I want to make sure that, you know, it's centered in here so I can cut off my excess. So I got plenty to make another one out of one little cuff off of these jeans. Make sure I'm centered on here. And then I'm going to grab my die cut machine. Oh boy, which is a heavy one. I'm using my big one instead of my automatic. I've got one of those Tim Holtz ones that you just push the button, but because this is pretty thick stuff, I want to make sure I can control it. And you want to make sure that your fabric is facing the die cut because that's going to be the outside. So you want to make sure that that's where it's supposed to be. And I can see that it needs to come this direction a little bit. So we'll do that. Make our sandwich. Hopefully I've got it where it belongs, and then I'll just roll that through. Okay. So now I've got my cut. And this is a scoreboard cut. So I'm just going to, ooh, sorry, didn't mean to bang that loudly. I'm just going to set this machine aside. And here's my little booklet. It's all cut out now. You're obsessed with making journals. Yeah. Yeah. Did you guys see that journal that I made with that other scoreboard die? That was collaboration with Emerald Creek and Seth Apter and all those guys. But let me grab it and show it to you if you missed it. This is another little flap journal die that you get from Sizzix and Eileen Hall. And so it just wraps around like this. And it makes this cute little journal. Oh, I'm glad you're here too. Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff on journaling. I think I've got a playlist out there. So now I want to make some pages to go into this. So, you know, it actually scores and cuts. You can see that it's got the fold lines on the outside. And I want to make pages that are going to fit in here. So I think I want to make them out of some fabric. I've got, let's see, I've got some fabrics. I've got some felt. Actually, I think felt would be fun. I could do the blue and red felt and maybe a fabric too. I don't know. But in order to do that, I'm going to want to bring my die back. And when you cut this, you're going to cut it a little bit differently. So I'm going to start the same way. I'm going to put my cutting plate down. And then I just want half of this. I'm going to want to fold my fabric so that it folds in. Oops. Let me get my fabric scissors. That would be better. I'm just going to cut some pieces here like this. So I've got a folded over piece. And when I fold that, I want to put that right on the crease line in the middle of the die. And then when I run it through, it's not going to cut it too large. I think I need to come over just a hair. Because what we want is a page that goes inside. Okay, so now I've got, this is a little page now. What did I do with the book? Here we go. So this is going to go right inside here. Maybe I'm scooched over just a little bit far, but you can see that that's going to fit inside of my book as I stitch that inside. And then I'll have a place where, you know, I can put my needles or my pins inside of there. So let me cut a few more of those. Joey, where are you? Hi, Barb. Did I miss Barbara coming in? Yeah, hi, Barbara. I am making, you know, my creative year right now is about clothing and fabric and using, you know, what we have. So what I am doing is I have some jean material that was just left over from when my husband needed some breeches shortened. That's what this is. It's just pieces from the bottom of pants that he whacked off. And so I'm reusing that to create these little needle cases. North of England. Okay, that's cool. So I'm not sure what time of day it is over there. I just jumped on because I was going to make something and I wanted to not have to do a video. So I thought this was an easy way to do it. So let me try and cut that a little bit better this time. I'm just going to get another square of this felt, and this is just cheap felt from Daiso. My friend Gina had gone, and I said, well, if you're going, oh, I need my fabric scissors. Those just don't want to cut. If you're going, would you look and see if they have any felt? Well, of course they have felt. They have all kinds of felt. And it's cheap there. It's like $1.50 or something. $7.45, yeah. Okay, so this time when I cut this, I want to come right to that. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there's in the die itself, these are the score lines right here in the middle. And the score lines do the this right here on the binding. So it just cuts those score lines right in. It doesn't actually cut it, it just scores it so that the book folds easily. So what I want to do is when I put this down, I want to make sure it's on just about on that first score line because I want my page a little bit smaller than the book itself so it fits inside nicely. And I'm going to get my second plate on there, slide it in, and start cranking it through. Yeah, right. I mean, using this one was when my kids were little. We couldn't afford to go out and buy furniture, so I had picked up like curbside stuff other people were throwing away, curbside furniture, and I'd stripped all the stuff off of it, and then I went to a secondhand store and I found this fabric, and I actually upholstered the old couch with this fabric. So this is just remnants of stuff that I had laying around for years. Okay, so there's my cut. And here's my little book. And you can see now that when I sew this in, it should fit in here just really nicely. And I'll stitch that, you know, through the binding, or you can just put one of those little hair ties or something around here. You know, however you want to put it into your book is going to be fine, because then you'll have your pages. Whoops. Oh, that actually cut through the felt. Darn it. Okay, so that was a little bit too much pressure. So in that case, you'd have to glue another piece down the middle to hold that together. I don't think this one did that, did it? Okay, maybe this is just getting, all right, I'm going to try a different, cutting mat and see if because that is not supposed to be cutting. Or maybe I just need to come inside. All right, another try at this. I'm going to try it one more time. Those are not waste because I can line the inside of another booklet with them. So let me cut this. This is how you do it live, right? It's however it turns out. Okay, so I'm going to come inside of that line because I don't want it to cut. I'm going to come inside of that line. And I'm not sure why that one's cutting all the way through. It might just be a difference. And, you know, this is a Fun Stampers Journey die machine. And it's kind of like the Prima ones. Not Prima. What is it? Spellbinder ones. And I think it's made by the same people that make the Spellbinder one. All right. That did not cut. Yay. Okay, so you got to stay inside the line, evidently. And then you've got your piece that's just the right size to go inside your booklet, and you can stitch that in. And I'll make a couple more pages to go in my book. So let's do a red one for a little contrast. I keep grabbing the wrong scissors here. Yeah, I could zigzag it. I actually, I did a little on this one, I actually stitched around the edge a little bit because this fabric wanted to fray. And I'll put some more stuff on this one, but yeah, I'm just learning, you know. That's what lives are about for me. I'm just learning and trying stuff, and you guys see the real down and dirty because I've never played with this thing before. So you guys are learning all about this at the same time I am. All right, so let's try one more in the red. And I think I do like the idea of stitching it rather than, you know, putting it on with any other way. So let's get this one in there. Here we go. So that's page number 2. And I think I've got a couple of other red fabrics. I've got this is like a gingham check. Looks like something somebody had in a garage sale that I picked up for 25 cents. And this one's got some red stars on it. So that might be kind of fun. But you see what I'm saying here, Barb? If I'm using these to line the interior, they're just going to be glued down anyway. So, I mean, these could be glued to the inside of a book, and they're not waste. I don't actually have to stitch it back together. So we got those two. Let's cut a couple of pieces of this. And I know Barb has a lot of fabric because she is the queen of quilting. So let's cut this. So are you doing anything for My Creative with stitching, Barb? I'd like to see what you're up to. And if you guys don't know, many of the people that are in the chat already have YouTube channels. So if you click on those 3 dots by their name, you can go to their channel and you can subscribe to them and you can check and see what they're doing. So, you know, share your information so that you can all be part of the community. All right, let me get this in here. I need to start it off the edge of the die. There we go. So it gets going. There we go. Your fabric is forlorn. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of other stuff, haven't you? So this is kind of cute. Got the little bit of gingham going on. So that's a thinner one. And I think I want to back that one with a different fabric. So I'll use that star one to back it because I can put those 2 pieces together and then just stitch around the edge. And it'll have nice pattern on both sides. Yep. I think Bea's got some pretty fabrics too. She had sent me some in some Happy Mail to try a project with. So I know several of you guys have some fabric stuff in addition to your journaling. But fabric journals are fun too. Okay, so I've got that. Just Just do a little finger crease here. Lay that down where it needs to be. And we will die cut. Looked at all the yucky threads and got my micron pen and made them look like, okay, cool. That sounds cool. I'll have to take a look. Have to take a look at that. Okay, so there we go. We got our pages. So let me cut one more cover so you guys see what I did with that. So this is what I'm thinking with this. I can back that gingham with the star for a page. We'll alternate the blue and the red, and then, you know, I'll stitch that in, and that'll make a cute little needle case. So got that one started, but let me show you what I did if you missed the beginning, because I probably need to make more of these for my friends, because they seem to be easy enough to do. So let me set this over here, and this is my stash of fabric. Let's see, which one do I want to use this time? Ooh, I like this. This is like ticking. That's cool. Another garage sale find for 10 cents. So, you know, if you don't have fabric in your stash, you can usually find it easily enough. But I like this. It's like pillow ticking. I remember when my mom and grandma used to put new ticking on our pillows. Okay, so I got a couple chunks of that. And I'm just going to take my tape, and this is just some scrap card from, you know, stuff that they sent me in the mail. So it's packaging. And I'm just going to coat another piece of this packaging with my adhesive. So I got double stick on both sides. This is where I go wrong because I can't fold straight. There we go. All right. So now I got double stick on both sides. Can cut that off. Okay. So then I can put a piece of this down. And peel this back. And then once I get this on here, I'll probably stitch around the edge, and I'll probably do some inking or painting, or, you know, you can decorate these covers just about any way you want to. So let's see. This is going to go. That's all right. Stripes will go around. I'm good with that. Maybe we'll do one way and one the other. What did I do with that other piece? Here we go. Is it long enough? Almost. Don't think it's long enough that way. Okay, so we'll do it this way. So now I've got my piece ready to cut. Get my better scissors. Oh, you think I'd learn, wouldn't you? Okay, and don't throw these things away because I like to make ribbons and things out of this. Like if you do those little paper clip things, you guys know what I'm talking about? Do those little paper clips. If you tear in these pieces, and you want embellishments in your journals, you know, take your paper clips and you can just tie these rags onto your paper clips. And that becomes a bookmark, page holder, whatever you want to call it. And you can put multiple ties on here if you want it more colorful. But that just becomes another page embellishment. So where'd my little book go? Well, here's a page. You know, if you wanted to embellish a page, get this around on the right end, then that is a little decorative clip. And then you've got this fun stuff out the edge. So, you know, all the little scraps are good too. Now, I don't know if this is going to be thick enough to not cut. So I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take another couple pieces of this board and put underneath, because what I was cutting before was like a chipboard. And I think that might be why it was cutting through. Actually, I think I'll put 3 or 4. I have a lot of these cards and they can be used for things too. So I'll put a few of these cards in here just as a shim. Oh dear. Let's get this back over here. So here we go. I've got my shims and I'm going to put them on the bottom side because I don't want the blade to come all the way through here in the middle section. You guys understand what I'm saying when I say that? I hope so. So I'm going to put these shims on here, just like so. And then I'm going to add my book piece and my cutting plate. And then I'll run that through. If I can get it started here. Sometimes it doesn't want to grab right away. Come on, get in there. All right, I must not have it off the edge far enough. Come on. All right, maybe that's one shim too many or something. I'll back it down just a little bit. That's how you know if it's not going to go through. It's probably too much. So I took one shim out. Try that. Still pretty tight. Good. Take 2 shims out. Yeah, now it's going to go. Okay, and you can see it did what I wanted it to do, but it did not cut through my book piece, which is, you know, that was what I was afraid of. This one it cut through, and this it did not. So I really needed the shims there to prevent it from cutting through that layer because it wasn't thick enough. Now, if you're using, let me show you what I had out originally. So I grabbed a couple of other things. This is just regular chipboard, and you can see that this is much thicker. And so if you're cutting a piece of that, you're not going to have those issues because it's thick enough. And that's what this one was originally cut on. This has the thick chipboard in between. So if I'm cutting that, let me just throw some fabric on here. I buy these big rolls of Elizabeth craft design stuff when I go to those craft shows, because you can usually get it at a discount. And honestly, at the end of the show, like when they're wrapping up the show, they sometimes have marked it down even more just because they don't want to carry it home with them. So yeah, I've gotten some good deals on these big rolls, and that's going to go a long way. Good. I'm glad you understand. Sometimes I wonder if my English is good enough for people to understand what I'm talking about, because, you know, you're in different languages, and I try not to use a lot of slang and stuff that people are not going to understand. All right, this time I've got some other cool fabric here. Let's use this one. I think this is kind of antique looking, and I like it. Where's my good scissors? Get a piece of this. This might be long enough to wrap around. See if I can get it down smoothly. There we go. That's kind of pretty. And these are all just garage sale type finds, or, you know, even if you have old clothes, suppose you have a fabric that you really liked in a shirt or something, and it just doesn't fit anymore, but you still like the fabric, you know, do something with it. I've torn old shirts up and used them, you know, stuff that shrunk in the dryer, that kind of thing. Okay, so I've got this one ready to roll. And which way do I want to cut this? I think the book is going to open. Let's do it this way. All right, there we go. So you can see that, oh boy, chipboard is thicker and a little bit harder to get through the machine, but it works. Let me get this off of here. I still had some sticky. Oops. Still had some sticky that was exposed. And here's my cut. And you see it cuts this little latch too. So if you want to make a closure, I mean, here's my little book. And if I want to make a closure on here, I can just attach this and put a little post on there, and then it's got its own little closure too. How cute is that? But that's with the, this is just, you know, regular chipboard interior. I got this stuff years ago. I'll try to remember to put some links in for you guys for things where you can find them. But I thought this would be fun to use for a cover too. This is clear acetate. And if you put, say, a layer of acetate over this, then it's going to protect your fabric and keep it nice. You know, you can put other mediums on there, but, you know, the clear acetate would be good on there also. So it's like a plastic coating, right? Hey, Jamie, how you doing, kid? Yeah, so I just need to, cut some more inserts and do some stitching. Let me show you how to put that. Oh dear, put that together. Let me set this aside. Oh, down it goes. And okay, so here's our little denim book. And it's got our pages here. Try to line those up a little bit better. Need to iron that one. Good grief. All right, we won't use that one right now. I need to get out the iron. We'll just do these three. We were talking about ironing the other night. I asked the girls if they ironed. Nobody ironed. It's like, really? How do you get away with that? I ironed. Got to touch stuff up. Okay. And I mean, even in the craft room, you got to iron, right? Okay. So there's my pages, and they're just going to fit into my book like this. And I'm going to try to even this out a bit, just a bit. So it looks nice. And then I'll just put a clip on it. Where's my, here we go. Put some clips on here to hold these edges in place while I stitch. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch right down through here to do my binding. Oh, awesome. When's your show, Jamie? Okay, so we need stuff to stitch with. So I'm going to grab, let's see if I got a good needle in here. I like this because it's got some shimmer to it and it's blue. Needle case with no needles. That's not good. Those are beading needles. Those are small needles. Come on, where's my stuff for thick stuff? One would think I'd be better organized. Well, all right then. Well, and I gave my, if you guys have seen it, they've got those stitching awls where you put the stuff through there and it pokes right through. Yeah, I gave that to my husband, so he ran off with that, so I'm not even sure where that is. All right, I'm going to have to get some other stuff together to do my stitching with, but I think you guys get the drift here. That's basically all I was going to come on and show you guys today. So, exactly, that's why I need a needle case. Oh, you know what? I wonder. Ho, 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 ho. You know what? This might work. That might be big enough. Let me see if I can get this in there. Yeah, I used to have a lot more stitching stuff. But since my hands have gotten old and crummy, they don't work as well anymore. And I also have a needle threader someplace, but who knows where that is right now. Watch Peg thread a needle with her trifocals. Yeah, I think this is kind of small for this. I'm having trouble getting it through the eye. Oh, got it. Okay. Got it in there. Okay. So I need 1, 2, about 3 lengths of that. And the stitching we will go. So I'm just going to, I think I'm going to start on the outside here so I know where I am. Go right through the middle. Oh. Go down through the middle. See if I can hit the middle of the spine. A little bit off. There we go. Good enough. Not rocket science. I don't have to do a bunch of measuring. I could, if you're really worried about it, you really can measure and mark everything and all that. I'm not that worried about it. It's a needle case, guys. Okay, so I've got that. I need to go down to the opposite end. See, I'm hanging out, so I'll trim that off later. But I want to come in just about the same as I did over here. So I'm going to go down here. Stitch that. Whoa. And come back to the middle. Gonna come out again. Try not to catch my piece there. So now I've got my stitching in the middle. And I can just come up to the top here and tie that off, and then I can put some fancy beads or charm or something up there at the top. Right over left, left over right, do a square knot. Yeah, tie that off. I need another hand. Why don't you guys give me another hand? Okay, cut that. Tie that off. And, then you can still put some embellishments, whatever you want on the front cover. Finish it off the way you want to. Like I said, put some charms on there. And now you got a cute little needle case to store your stuff in. Yeah, it probably is with my book binding stuff. Yeah, but I'll tell you what's going on here is I'm getting ready for a sale and I've been tearing through everything in my studio. I have boxes sitting, you can't see it, but I have boxes sitting all around me because I'm sorting things to go into the sale and then I'll reorganize in my studio. Yeah, so it's kind of a chaos situation here right now, but here's my needle and I can just put that into my needle case so I have it the next time I need it. And then if I want to, I can add a binding. I could do it with a contrast. I could do some kind of little belt around there, or I could use one of those pieces that I cut to make a closure on here. So that's how it goes. Hey, Ela, how are you? Hi. So that's it for me today, guys. Looks like you're just catching the tail end. Sorry, but it will be up on a replay, so you should be able to see it here shortly. And I hope you guys find this to be something helpful for you. Yeah, don't be sorry. It's okay. This is just one of those impromptu things. I did not plan this at all today. I was just gonna, do a little something down here. And first I started sorting, and then I thought, no, I really want to play with that new die. So I thought, well, I'll get it out and I'll make something. So, that's basically what I did is I got it out and I made something. But like these, I really wanna embellish some more. I really wanna take some uh, different colors, probably. Like maybe some of this Blue Lagoon would be pretty on there. And, I'll end up playing with this probably a lot longer today than I thought I was going to, because you know how I am. I just got to keep on doing it. But you can do that once you've got your pieces cut. You can just keep on playing. Do the binding here. And this is that one. It's actually still drying because I put a coat of matte medium over this one because it was starting to fray. So I'll have to trim all of those little fray pieces off of there. But, I just stitched around the interior and up and down here. And then, I'll put some pages into this one. And then where's that other one that we did? Too many things on my desk. Here we go. We've got this one we started. Out of the ticking material, and then this one that was out of that kind of antique looking fabric. I think because I got this cut nicely, I might actually use this for the binding on that one. So that's it, guys. I guess I'll catch you next time. Do they sell well? Okay. Thanks, Barb. Yeah, well, there's lots of fancy needle cases, aren't there? This is just a quick, easy one. Like if you're making gifts, think about, we're starting into the holidays and we got to make gifts for people. This is a real easy one to do for gifts. So that's kind of what I was thinking about is it's the kind of thing that I can give to my friends and family and isn't going to take me all day to do. So, all right, that's it, guys. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for being with me while I played today. And Jamie, good luck on your craft sale. Later, y'alls is right. Bye-bye.